attention! We're starting now! Go!
What is up, everybody? Welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers. In particular, welcome to Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie, and this is the show where we gather every Sunday night and talk about comics, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. I hope you had a great week. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I hope you have a great week to come. I certainly had a great weekend. Lots of rest and relaxation, lots of coolness, and a cool week before that as well. So let me know how you doing. Once you get in here, throw out a station, maybe even a pop, pop, boom. And hell, this is the year of PCPX, hashtag Year of the Heel. And if you ain't down with the Year of the Heel, I got 2 words for you. Suck it! So there you go. Welcome in, everybody. This show, though, and we got some cool things to talk about tonight, but this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, your concerns. So get them in right now. What do you want to chat about? Let's get into it. All right, you should follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can follow me on X at the Rockin Robbie. And of course, you can support us at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP Army generals right there, or with the Super Chat. Speaking of Super Chats, for every $10 in Super Chats we get tonight, I'll be doing a shot of Jose Cuervo. And you know what that means. That could lead into some dangerous territory, but luckily I don't have a full bottle, so we're going to get into that. And by the way, the first shot is free. So here's to you, here's to the Yankees, even though they didn't win. Here's to my Auburn Tigers, even though they lost yesterday to Florida. In fact, we're getting a Florida-Houston final. I guess that's okay. Anyway, here's to you out there in the chat. All right. Coming up here on the channel, we got PCP Movie Night tomorrow night. The theme for April is We Are April Fools. Absolutely. We have picked some of the most ridiculous movies to spotlight here on PCP Movie Night, and we're going to start it off with Double Dragon. That's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time here on the channel. All right, everybody, I want to see you get those stations in, get those pop, pop, booms in. Let us know what you're thinking. It's time for station identification. All right, welcome in, everybody. How you doing? We're about to take a look at the chat, so get your comments in right now. I have had a pretty solid weekend. What did I do? I didn't really do much of anything. I took it easy on Friday. I was on the Blame Fable show. That was pretty fun. That was interesting. Saturday, took it pretty easy. That was yesterday. Yeah, went to work, got off of work, watched a movie. I watched Only Lovers Left Alive, which is a Jim Jarmusch film from like 2013, I believe. Tilda Swinton, Tom Hiddleston, Anton Yelchin, I think that's his name, the dude who played Chekhov in the new Star Trek movies. John Hurt's in there. It's got a pretty cool cast. I had never seen it before. My buddy who runs Big Mix Video here in town, a video store, recommended it. I have had it rented out for over a month now, and I decided it was finally time to watch it, and I watched it, and I enjoyed it. It had a very slow, sad, melancholy kind of pace to it, and I want to pick it apart a little bit more, but I kind of got to dive back in. But I felt like it was, I don't know, to me it was kind of portraying this longing for culture in our modern society and us holding on to the things that were comfortable before and not really making way for things that are new. I think that was an element there. But like I said, I watched it last night while I was drinking a little bit of tequila, cooked a steak, some asparagus and mushrooms. It's pretty good. And then today's been a nice kind of chill and relaxed day. I watched the first episode of Breaking Bad, as I promised last week, because of the super chats. I told y'all that I would watch the first episode of Breaking Bad and we would talk about it, so we'll get to that tonight. Also, we have the return of the DC sneak peek. Lunar finally got their shit together this week, and we got our DC and Image Comics and all that stuff on our normal schedule. So I have read the DC books I'm going to read this week, so we will have the DC sneak peek. So all in all, it was a pretty good weekend. I spent most of it here in my apartment alone. But you know what? Those are the weekends that sometimes happen. And sometimes they're needed. So there you go. All right. We're going to take a look at the chat, see what everybody's saying. We got Derek first in with the big, the dinosaur. That's pretty freaking cool. GTK Comic is in the house. The artist formerly known as Jesse Say What? How you doing? We got Eddie Runner up in here. Anissa is here. Station. Go Yankees. Yeah, the Yankees are still doing good. I mean, Pittsburgh beat us today. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with the production from the Yankees right now. Road Collecting is in the house. Saying, what's up, everyone? Hope everyone had a great weekend. We got my man Fable from One Collection Down Station. That was a fun show on your little channel, your little show that you did on Friday. It was good. It was even better because I was there. So there you go. Road Collecting says, Station and PCPX to you all. Hey. What is up, Edson? How you doing? Southside Ronin is in the house. Yo, yo, what's poppin', famo? Kenneth Bird is here with a hi to everyone is in here tonight. Pete, what is up? What's up, players? What's up with you? Boat says, Station, Dino Nuggets, and ketchup to all who came to eat. All right, I'm down with the Dino Nuggies, but the ketchup, I don't know about that. I'm not quite the biggest fan of ketchup, but to each their own. To each their own. Billy Power Max is in the house with a, is this real or AI? I don't know, bruh. You tell me. Do I look like Max Headroom to you? Am I as cool as that cat? Maybe you're AI. Maybe you ain't real. Are you real? Am I real? I don't think any of this shit's real. 9-panel grid in the house. Two Gun Pedro is in the house. What's up, dudes? Eddie says, I'm road tripping from Cali to Colorado starting tomorrow, and I'm going to visit Mile High Comics when I'm there. So excited. Well, heck yeah. I hope you enjoy it for the rest of us. I've never been to Mile High Comics. It was always one of those shops that was always in the back of my head as like a very important comic shop in this country, and I've never been there. I've never been to Colorado. I would like to because, first of all, something super legal there, and that's fun, and that's cool. But hell yeah, be safe on the road, and I hope you enjoy it. I hear Colorado is a beautiful, beautiful state. Southside Ronin with love from Chicago. Pete with a pop, pop, boom. We got Sean Ali in the house. What is up yourself, my man? Billy says, this show is fueled by my thoughts? Maybe. Is this show even real? I'm just an AI algorithm pumping to you live from the depths of your subconscious. How about that? Eddie wants to know if I enjoyed Breaking Bad Episode 1. We'll get to that. Dark Fizzo is in the house. How you doing? Julian's in the house with a station, baby. Easy Reader is here as well. Road Collecting with the R.I.P. Val Kilmer. That's right. It's one of the things we talked about on the Blame Fable shit show tonight. On Friday night, we were talking about that. It's sad. It's a tragedy. I think one of the things I said was what was sad was we kind of lost him as an artist a while ago. But Val Kilmer, an absolute amazing talent. Doc Holliday, his portrayal of Doc Holliday in Tombstone is absolutely brilliant. And Tombstone kicks that Kevin Costner Wyatt Earp movie's ass all day long, any day. Heat is a great movie. The Saint is good. Top Gun, of course. True Romance, in which he plays Elvis. That's a great role. Of course, Batman, one of my favorite Batmans. Actually, I would say that he's my second favorite live-action Batman is Val Kilmer, right behind Christian Bale. It's like Christian Bale, Val Kilmer. And then I got to kind of figure out the rest. No shame or shade on, say, Michael Keaton or Ben Affleck. I think they're fine, too. But yeah. What's y'all's favorite Val Kilmer movie? Throw it out there in the chat. I'll go with Heat. Heat, Tombstone, True Romance. Some great roles. Road Collecting says, watched Heat for the first time this weekend. It was so good. Yeah, Michael Mann film. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely beautiful. It's been a movie that every year when I'm putting together the PCP movie night list, it's on consideration, and it always kind of gets bumped down for something else. So we got to make sure that we do Heat next year. PCP movie night 2026. Pete says, station everyone. Hope you're all absolutely chilling. 100% looking forward to Robbie's Breaking Bad review. Rogue says, crazy I had somehow never seen it. Pete says, yeah, Heat is awesome. We got CTA Frank in the house. Dark Fizzo says, I missed the Fable show this week and everyone was on. You know, normally I would say that you didn't miss much, but I was there. So you did miss something. Luckily, it's available on the repeat. On the repeat. Anthony is here with a stake for the win. Yeah, you know it, my man. The name changes is in the house. Evil Face Bad is in the house. DMAX619 is here saying, let's go Padres. All right, all right. I can support the Padre love. When I was growing up, Tony Gwynn was one of my favorite players. Starscream is in the house. I'm right there with you, Eddie. Ketchup sucks. Ketchup can suck it. How about that? Eddie says, Mile High was dope when it was in Cali, but the Colorado place is huge. Dark Fizzo says, Max Headroom. Now that is an OG reference. Well, that OG reference from an OG. How about that? Sneak peek of Absolute Batman number 7. You know it. It's coming. The Max Headroom TV takeover is creepy to me. Yeah. Dark Fizzo says, love the Saint. Sean's a fan of Willow. Anthony says, on the topic of Val Kilmer / Tombstone, favorite Westerns? Unforgiven. That's a favorite Western of mine. The Sergio Leone stuff, Once Upon a Time in the West. Obviously, the Dollars trilogy. Fistful of Dollars. What are the other ones? Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And the what is I always want to call it Fistful of Dynamite, but that's not what we call it here in the States. It's the one with James Coburn, I think. Those ones are pretty good. So Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in particular out of those. Right? So Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the Unforgiven. A little bit of a shout out to Quick and the Dead. I haven't watched it in years, but a homie of mine was at the shop a few days ago and we were having a chat. And he mentioned that he was watching through Gene Hackman films, right? Because we lost Gene Hackman as well, right? So he was like, Quick and the Dead is actually better than people give it credit for. And I'm like, Quick and the Dead, that's the Sam Raimi one. Leo DiCaprio, Russell Crowe. It's got a huge cast, Sharon Stone. I remember really liking that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. But definitely Unforgiven, definitely Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I would, Hateful Eight's kind of up there. What? I know I'm forgetting some. Tombstone, obviously. Young Guns. Young Guns, that's just my age, my generation. Young Guns is kind of like our Western. Those are the ones that come right up off the dome. Now, let me see if I can Google Best Westerns and not get hotels. Oh, No Country for Old Men. Duh. That's a neo-noir Western, right? Yeah, I would go with No Country for Old Men as well. Django Unchained. That's a good one. Oh, Dead Man. I was just talking about Dead Man today, a Jim Jarmusch film. Dead Man's a good one. Blazing Saddles. Yeah, this works. 3:10 to Yuma. And I haven't seen the original, but the one with Russell Crowe, Christian Bale. That's a good one. I got this damn song stuck in my head. It's been stuck in my head for days. El Topo's an interesting one. High Noon. High Noon's great. Gary Cooper. Butch Cassidy. We did a whole podcast about our favorite Westerns. I believe it's on YouTube. If not, it's on our website, popculturephilosophers.com. So everybody should check it out. But for me, for sure, Unforgiven is like number one. I would go No Country for Old Men, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Once Upon a Time in the West. Those are some good ones. Back on the Val Kilmer movies, Easy Reader says Real Genius. Southside Ronin says Batman Forever and Heat. Fable says Heat. Dark Fizzle says Elizabeth Shue. Nuff said. Eddie says no Robert Pattinson Batlove. No, I don't like that movie. I really don't. But I do need to rewatch it again at some point. Sean says Real Genius was good, very underrated. Two Gun Pedro with Tombstone. D-Mac with The Saint. Evil Face Bad wants to know if Robbie's getting that new Nintendo Switch 2. Hell no. I don't buy new modern video game consoles, especially with all this tariff shit going on. Hell no. Y'all can have it. I got my Wii with my NES emulator on there. I got my retro console that plays NES and SNES and Genesis games. I'm happy with that for now. I got a Nintendo 64. Jungle Green, baby. I'm happy with that. Now, if someone gave me a Switch 2, I would be pleased and I would take it. Southside said Young Twilight killed it as Batman. Steve says, hope everyone's doing well. I actually enjoyed Dinner Thieves too. I'm not familiar with that one. Dynamite says, is Knights vs. Samurai part of the Spawn universe? I don't think it is. If it is, maybe the distant past, but I stopped reading it after the first issue or two. Just wasn't vibing with it. Now, it is produced by McFarlane Productions, but I don't believe it's part of the Spawn universe. Fable, you're all up on the list. Evil Face Bad says, I just pre-ordered that new History of DC book. It looks interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. We talked about this a little bit, maybe last week or the week before, but somebody was saying, they're not looking forward to it because Mark Waid was a terrible writer for that book. And I was like, no, Mark Waid's the perfect writer for that. He really understands the lore and the complex history of DC. So who better to put it together than somebody like him? Southside Ronin says 310 to Yuma. Hydra Asylum, what's up, Jay? Says for a few dollars more. That's it. I always want to call it Fistful of Dynamite, which I think was its European name. Fable says Back to the Future 3 is one of my favorite Westerns. Hell yeah. D-Max says The Quick and the Dead was dope. Still one of my favorites. Evil Face Bad says The Outlaw Josie Wales. I actually have this really cool print. Where is that damn thing? I got a cool print from my buddy Kevin Stokes, from The Outlaw Josie Wales. So it's like this caricature of Clint Eastwood from that movie, and it's pretty dope. Shot down in a blaze of glory. Dynamite says, I just found out The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was the third movie in the Man with No Name series. Yeah. I thought it was the second. I thought it was Fistful of Dollars, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and A Few Dollars More. And Fistful of Dynamite's a different movie. Which one is Fistful of Dynamite? Because that's the one without Clint Eastwood. Right? Duck, You Sucker. Duck, You Sucker. That one. Fistful of Dynamite is Duck, You Sucker. That one is the James Coburn one. For a Few Dollars More is a different one, of course. Yeah, you're right. So it's Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Then there's Duck, You Sucker, a.k.a. Fistful of Dynamite. Which some don't, consider it part of the trilogy, but I mean, it's pretty much, it's part of the franchise in a way, but it doesn't have Clint Eastwood in it, of course. Oh, and yeah, the True Grit remake, the Coen Brothers one. That's a good pull, Eddie. Oh, yeah, Dynamite, Magnificent Seven. See, I knew I was forgetting shit. Magnificent Seven is great. Kind of like a remake of sorts of Seven Samurai. Dark Fizzo says Cowboys and Aliens. Okay. Have at it. Starscream says, Robbie, what's your favorite comic book movie and why? It's Blade. Why? Because it's one of the most badass movies of all time. What's up, Silhouette? Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64. That's one of the best games ever. For the multiplayer alone. Conker's Bad Fur Day for the win. Oh, I don't have a copy of that. I think it got a little expensive. Fuzzy is here with love from Scotland. Well, thank you so much. Love your work. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. Billy loves Fistful of Dollars. Got a fistful of dollars and a pocket full of love. God above, if you hear me cry. Try to sell my soul, but no one's buying. Come on and watch me shine. Down, 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 down today, yay. A little Everlast for your ass. Fable wants to know who else has been Googling Pokemon today. Why are we doing that? Why are we Googling Pokemon? Billy says 2004 Punisher. What? Sorry. That left a bad taste in my mouth. I honestly don't think there's been a good Punisher movie. I wish. I honestly don't think there's been a good Fantastic Four movie either. Maybe we'll get one. I haven't seen the Punisher series, though, that they did, connected to the Netflix Daredevil stuff with John Bernthal. I haven't seen that, but I do think that he's our best on-screen Punisher, at least in my estimation. There was a short film called Dirty Laundry. I think that was like fan-made, starring Thomas Jane as the Punisher. I really like that, but I don't count that as a Punisher movie. You know, one day I know that we're going to do that original Dolph Lundgren one on PCP Movie Night. I mean, you know, I keep going back and forth on Action Fest this year. We got 4 weeks to do Action Fest. We want some Van Damme in there. We got to put the Raid in there. But I've been looking at like what to put in this lineup. Punisher, maybe. Maybe Punisher. But like, yeah, that Thomas Jane Punisher one, the one from 2004, it's okay. A little too emo for me. And then there was the Warzone movie that had some more fun elements attached to it, the one with Ray Stevenson, but then a little too emo for me as well. So I don't know. I haven't really liked a live-action Punisher movie. But maybe we should do the original one. Dark Fizzle says Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is a good Western. I agree. Anything with Paul Newman and what's that guy's name? Robert Redford. Anything with those two is pretty fucking solid in my opinion, including The Sting. Do 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 do. Have you ever seen any of the Terrence Hill Westerns? I don't think so. Like what? Oh, the Trinity movies. When I was a kid. But I don't remember them. 2 Cowboys, 1 Cup. Dynamite with a Paint Your Wagon, Clint Eastwood's only musical. Fuzzy says, Young Guns is the one. Regulators! Mount up! You know what that makes me think of? It was a clear black night. A clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the eve so I can get some phones. Chilling in the something, leaning all alone. Just hit the east side on the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. Robbie needs more Steven Seagal in his life. Excuse me. Do I? Under Siege is another one that we were thinking. Under Siege, maybe? That'd be a good one. We got to put some Van Damme in there. We're doing the raids for sure. CTA Frank says, Once Upon a Time in the West. It's a great movie. Eddie says, Warzone was gory, but don't remember much else. Pete says, I only know that Young Guns line because of Warren G. What's funny is that every time I watch Young Guns, and that bit happens, I go, oh shit, this is the bit from Warren G. Regulators! We regulate any stealing of his property. Damn good at it too. But you can't be any geek off the street. You know what I mean? You gotta, what does he say? You gotta work with the steel or something, earn your keep. It's good shit. Young Guns is a great movie. And we actually got Lou Diamond Phillips coming to the expo in a few weeks. Uh-oh, Robbie is in singing mode. Oh, I'm always in singing mode. Why is Van Damme in a lot of trouble, Billy? Fuzzy says, great action flick, Navy SEALs. Ooh, Navy SEALs. I haven't seen Navy SEALs since I was a youngin'. So who knows? I am in a singing mood, and I got a bottle of tequila, so this is how we're doing it. For every $10 in super chats, it doesn't have to be all in one super chat, we'll do a shot of tequila. And this is the year of the heel, so who knows what shots of tequila will lead to. And here's another one for free, because we're having fun here. Dink it. Posse with Mario Van Peebles. We haven't thought about Posse in a while. Wasn't Lawrence Fishburne in that movie? Who else was in Posse? God, we used to love that movie. 1993. Mario Van Peebles, Billy Zane, who's going to be at the expo as well. Stephen Baldwin. Zeus is in it. Blair Underwood, that's who's in it. Pam Grier. Man, I haven't seen that movie in a while. Silverado. Haven't seen that one in a while. Derek says, Godless is a great modern Western. It's like 8 episodes on Netflix. Has one of the greatest cold opens I've ever seen. Godless. You know, I still have Netflix right now because of Monday Night Raw. Which, man, WWE's heating up. Let's talk about that real quick. It's time for Rockin Robbie's Wrestling Report. All right, so what do we talk about? First thing we talk about is the Cody Rhodes, John Cena, third promo. That was dope. I loved it so much. They were laying in on each other on Monday night. That was great. It eventually climaxes with Cody giving the crossroads to John Cena. One move, lays John Cena out. Cody gets off and leaves. But I loved it. And then a lot of people had been complaining, right? That you know, like it was moving too slow and that Cena wasn't explaining why he's aligning with The Rock and that Cody didn't show up on that first one or that they didn't throw down on the second one. I think this is perfectly paced because we don't have John Cena again until WrestleMania, I think. At least he's not promoed for any upcoming Raw. We got 2 Raws and 2 SmackDowns left now before WrestleMania. And I think it was just a perfect escalation to that third John Cena heel promo with Cody Rhodes. And I thought it was great. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Let's see. What else has happened? Oh my goodness. On Monday Night Raw, one of the greatest fucking matches I've seen in recent modern wrestling since I've been watching it again, which is like since December of last year. But the Gunther Jimmy Uso match was fucking awesome. They basically pulled a Rocky IV. So Jey Uso is up against Gunther for the World Championship at WrestleMania. And Gunther is beating the shit out of Jimmy Uso. Jay comes in to save his ass. He gets zip-tied to the ring, and Jimmy Uso gets bladed. He blades himself so fucking deep. He's just bleeding all over the place. Blood is all over Gunther. He's holding him barely there. Like, he's like just right there. He's like, come and save your brother. Come and save your brother. It's straight up a Rocky IV moment. Like when Apollo dies, like that's what they're doing. And that build was fucking great. That was awesome. The EO, Rhea, Bianca stuff went exactly like I thought. There was going to be some shenanigans and a DQ, continuing to build and set up the triple threat for the Women's World Championship. And then we had SmackDown. Now, I don't watch SmackDown because it's on USA. I don't have access to USA Network. I do have Peacock, but they don't put SmackDown on there till like 30 days later. Defeats the point, because you want to stay caught up on this stuff, right? Anyway, so some big news out of SmackDown, though. Number one was the Kevin Owens announcing that he has to have neck surgery, and it's pretty serious, so his match with Randy Orton is off for WrestleMania, which sucks because that was a match I was really looking forward to, but it also just sucks because Kevin Owens is, since I started getting back into wrestling, I've been like, oh, fuck yeah, let me see it, right? Let me see some good shit, and I was really excited for the build up into their match at WrestleMania, at least the bit of the build that I got to see. But it sucks. I hope he gets it taken care of. I hope he's able to come back. That's a pretty serious thing. The rumors are saying that he might have a fusion surgery or something. So there's that. So that sucks, and I hope that Randy finds a place in WrestleMania, and it could even be throwing some shenanigans during the Cody Rhodes John Cena match, and I'd be totally cool with that. After that, we had the Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair thing where they both went off script. Basically, what I've been able to piece together from some of the sources that I've gathered up, which are friends, YouTubers, and the internet. But it seems like Charlotte Flair was getting thrown off because she was getting massively booed while she was trying to deliver her promo. Kept fucking up a little bit. Tiffy kind of fucked up a little bit. And then Charlotte apparently goes off script. Tiffany goes off script, starts talking, bringing up her personal life, saying that, like, you know, after WrestleMania, you're going to be out just like you are outside of the ring alone. What are you in marriages? 0 for 3. And then she just rolls out. And apparently what happened is they say Charlotte went off script first. Tiffy then throws some shit back like that. And then rolls out of the ring and gets out of there before it escalates even more. Apparently, people backstage were kind of pissed about it. So I bet Triple H was like throwing his best Vince McMahon face on, like, what the goddamn, what is going on here? At least he didn't run out into the ring and blow out both of his fucking quads trying to jump into the ring, right? And then as she's leaving, Charlotte's like, why is Kaiser in my DMs? And then it was silly. Like, the build up to their thing has been kind of weak, but I hope the match is decent. I hope the match is decent. And then there was the reveal of what the favor of Heyman's to CM Punk is, and that is to be in his corner at WrestleMania. That was a great bit. Paul Heyman is like crying, like on the spot. He's like pulling his best Christian Bale. Freaking fucking cool, man. Anyway, super pumped for WrestleMania. We still got 2 weeks to go. What's happening? Like, I feel like everything's already been teed up so perfectly. You got 2 weeks now. Like 2 more Raws, right? 2 more Raws? Yeah, this week and then next week. Then it's WrestleMania. So we see. I guess The Rock will show up at some point, right? I don't know. What do y'all think? Talking about Western still, Fuzzy says Desperado or El Mariachi. James says Bone Tomahawk, which is a movie I've never seen, but I've heard about them. Fuzzy says, them ladies went wild on Friday. Dynamite says the first season of The Mandalorian was a good Western. I can dig that. Fable says, nah, they're doing a great job. That last promo was great. We got Mark from Geeks Unleashed here with a pop, pop, boom. What's up, my man? Evil Face Bad says, just not feeling Cody Rhodes anymore. I can't relate to the suit and tie, corporate-looking baby face. All right. Mark says, hope you all had a bloody marvelous weekend. Tip, tip, cheerio, mate. Fable says, CM Punk's favor segment was good. Glad he's finally in the main event. My favorite part of that whole segment was Seth Rollins back there just fucking laughing his ass off. I thought that shit was so funny. Ian and Becca are here. What is up? How you doing? Mark says, bring back the British Bulldog. Name changer says, Davey Boy Smith, British Bulldog, passed away, didn't he? Yes, unfortunately he did. No Concept says, make it Randy, Coda, and Cena in a triple threat. I don't think we need that many more triple threats. We already got 2 big ones, but Randy Orton wants that title. He wants a shot at that title. They're already setting that up. Steve says, I have not watched wrestling in decades. Steve, I was kind of the same way. And they pulled my ass back in. They really did. We're 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. Plenty of time to get caught up and check it out. Mark says, have no idea about wrestling. Well, people in your country fucking love it, dude. I'll tell you that. Southside Ronin with the ECW love. Hell yeah. All right. Got a new shirt on. Return of the Living Dead Part 3. Got this from Gutter Garbs, I believe. Easy Reader, the price of tequila has not gone up yet. So that's why we savor it while we have the chance. So let's do another one. We're doing these little half shots unless we get a super chat. William is here with a Randy fan for life. Here's to Randy Orton. All right, what else happened this week? I tried something for the first time in my life. For the first time in my life. Because just recently, Del Taco has come to Alabama. So I now have a Del Taco in my city. And I've always heard of Del Taco, and y'all know me, and I'm a huge Taco Bell fan. Well, this week I had Del Taco twice, and I'm going to kind of say that I love it. I mean, I love Taco Bell, and I loved this Del Taco. I had their Del Taco tacos. The Del Taco. I had a bean burrito. I had a beef burrito. I had some nachos. This is over a few meals. I had it twice this week. I fucking loved it. It's like I kind of said, it kind of tastes like my memory of Taco Bell from the 90s. The tacos were big. The shells were crunchy. They were crunchy as shit. I thought the meat was seasoned decently. I mean, for a fast food taco place, I'm pretty excited because as much as I love Taco Bell, they like to fuck with us. You know, they like to take things away from us that they shouldn't take away because they have the ingredients and then bring them back for a limited time. They got great pieces like the cheesy gordita crunch or the Mexican pizza, but then they hold things away from us like the enchilada or the double-decker taco or the 7-layer burrito, which are ingredients they have at all times. So there's that. Plus also, sometimes you ever get a Taco Bell taco, I like crunchy tacos. You ever get one of those and you open it up and you lift it out of its wrapper and the bottom is stuck to the wrapper and it just falls the fuck apart? That did not happen at Del Taco. I'm not saying I like Del Taco better than Taco Bell, but I am saying that I was rather impressed by Del Taco. My one gripe about it was all their sauces, including their hottest sauce, which I think is the Inferno sauce, slightly sweet. Kind of like more like spicy ketchup. But I was eating a Del Taco taco at work, and I got some Taco Bell Diablo sauce and put it on it, and that was fucking awesome. That was awesome. I'm a Del Taco fan. There you go. Eric says, make sure to give that like button a flying elbow drop. Steve says, DC's Absolute Universe is really holding me in. Hell yeah, happy to hear that. Fable says, that shirt is too badass for you, jabroni. Fuck you, Fable. Don't think that... All right, let me tell you something. So, Fable... Let me break a little bit of the illusion here, okay? This motherfucker Fable, every week, on Friday, sends me a link. Hey man, I know you're busy. Here's the link to my show. Hope you can join us. Every fucking Friday. You know what I do? I ignore that shit. I got better things to do on a Friday night than chop it up with fucking Fable. Especially since he's at the top of the list. He's at the top of the list, he's at the bottom of the list, and he's in the middle of the fucking list. However, this last Friday, he had my homie Austin on as a guest. Austin is doing his latest Kickstarter for Envy, Volume 3, Issue number 3. It's on Kickstarter now. If somebody could throw out a link, that would be dope. I got some blue wrenches I see finally to fucking tonight. So that's nice. But, so every week, Fable's like, hey man, here's the link. I know you're busy, bro, but whatever, come on the show if you want. And yeah, usually I'm just like, yeah, whatever, dude. I got better things to do, right? Because let's be honest. I got better things to do. But then, because he's got my boy Austin on, I was like, you know what? I'll be there for that. Plus, I kind of felt a little bad. I was like, he put me on the thumbnail. I should show up more than like once every 4 months or something like that. But then I show up on his show. I grace his show with my presence. And this dude has the fucking nerve, the balls, and the dingling to go along with it to cut a promo at me as part of his rants and recommendations. He cuts a promo on me, and let me tell you something about this dude's fucking promo, okay? He puts on his shades, he puts on his little hat, he puts on his music, and he's reading from a goddamn script. I don't know if you could notice it, but I noticed it. This motherfucker had to prepare to cut a promo on me. Fable, I ain't got no notes in front of me except for this shit that says talk about McDonald's, talk about Del Taco, talk about WWE, talk about Breaking Bad, talk about Superman, and it says Heat for PCP Movie Night of 2026. It says Punisher for Action Fest. It says Under Siege. I should put a question mark there. And it also says Goblins. Godless. I'm going to read that later and it's going to say Goblins. What's that? Anyway, I don't need no notes to fucking do this shit, so let me tell you something, brother, all right? You should be thanking me for being there on your show to interject a little bit of goddamn entertainment, dude. Because seriously, 8 fucking dudes in a sausage fest barely talking about anything, shit they don't know, means nothing to me, dude. I elevated your show on Friday night. And then to come at me like that, brother? Like who the fuck would PCP be without Fable? Brother, I remember when you were that scared little fucking dude in the chat, too afraid to share your music with me. And don't forget that when you shared your music, I fucking graciously put it on my show, and guess what? Got demonetized because of your samples and shit, bruh. That's when I realized, or I should have realized, that you're a fucking fraud. You're a fucking phony ass fraud. I bet you garage band that shit. I bet you put that together with some Fruity Loops. I don't know what your musical talent is anymore, bro. I used to give you way more credit than I think you actually fucking deserve. You had to fucking cut a promo on me when I grace my presence on your show, and then you kind of butcher it, dude. You couldn't even read off your own notes. You're like Charlotte motherfucking Flair. And what is PCP Movie Night without Fable? Brother, PCP Movie Night's been just fine without the wonderful Fable to join us. You think you're a community builder? How about a community destroyer, bruh? You're breaking apart this community right now with that fucking bullshit. If you ever treat me like that again on your show, it's fucking over. I see you in person, I'm dropping your fucking ass, dude. Attitude adjustment coming for sure. Cause you can't see me and you will never see me coming, Fable. And I don't have to fucking write this shit out. I don't have to do little gimmicky tricks like playing music and wearing the shades. When I wear the shades, I'm going deep. And when I'm talking about you, I don't have to go deep at all, bro, because your soul is shallow. Your soul is so shallow, I can swallow it like Shang Tsung can swallow Johnny Cage's fucking soul. It doesn't make any fucking sense what's going on or what I just said there with the Mortal Kombat thing, but it doesn't fucking matter. Fable, you do that shit again, it's goddamn on, brother, okay? Who the fuck are you? I remember, like I said, when you were this dude in the fucking chats, acting out, wanting attention. We gave you that attention. We let you build this little offshoot of PCP. You've been riding on my dick for fucking years now, bruh. So get the fuck off of it now, man. I'm tired of it, man. Go fuck yourself, go suck it, and eat a fucking dick. How about that? And with that, we'll be right back here on Rockin Robbie Live, because now I'm fucking heated.
Never again comments. No mouse guard? Oh, we're sorry. We forgot to do the shitty book section this week. Check back next week, buddy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm your host, Rockin Robbie. We've already had a great show. We were talking about our favorite Westerns. We were talking about our favorite Val Kilmer movies. We talked a little bit about Del Taco, and I just cut a promo on Fable because it's the year of the heel, everybody. Fable, love you. It's all in fun. I hope everybody realizes that. And if you don't, I just get fucked, I guess. Anyway. I should have taken some notes, and maybe I could have cut a better promo, Fable. I'm sorry you only gave it 3 out of 5, you digs. I did call him Charlotte Flair. How y'all doing? Welcome in. Mark says, I want Robbie to rant about Venom 5 now. Oh, all new Venom number 5? Yeah, it fucking sucks. I did a good rant on that on the Blame Fable shitty-ass show he does on Friday nights. I helped elevate that show. He begged me, basically, to be there. And honestly, you haven't paid my last few appearance fees, bruh, so I'm kind of getting pissed about that on the real, okay? No kayfabe. Like, I'm kind of getting pissed that you're not paying my invoices. So, there you go. Anyway, follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Facebook group of Pop Culture Philosophers. You can support the channel over at patreon.com/PCP or with a super chat tonight, which will trigger a tequila shot and a Hellboy song. It could be fun. I don't know. This shot's on me. Dynamite says you should have a weekly rant for worst comic. Oh, man. I hopefully don't read the worst comic every week. The whole point of Pop Culture Philosophers is to be insightful, positive, and entertaining. That's why I don't do, like, worst comic of the week kind of shit. Look at Bob from Everything Comics is here, and all right, Bob. All right, well, the WWE will break kayfabe every once in a while, so we'll do that here. Bob, what's going on is I have declared PCP X, the 10th year of PCP, the lead up to our 10th anniversary, I've declared to be the year of the heel. And I told everybody it was going to be the year of the heel, and that I was going to do a heel turn. I was going to start talking some shit. Which I already do. And then my boy John Cena helped me out and turned heel as well. So it is now fully the year of the heel. And that's what's going on. Bob, it's just a bit. It's just a bit. Go on Fable's IG, and he's clipped out the promo that he cut on me, which honestly, kayfabe all out the window right now. Like, that was a pretty good promo, Fable. When Fable threw on those fucking shades and the fucking hat and the music, I was like, man, he's about to cook my ass. But it's all in fun, dude. Bob says, yo, brother, I got duped. Glad it was all just fun. You're not the first person been fooled by this shit. I even had people be like, you better take it easy with this year of the heel shit, Robbie. People aren't going to realize it's a joke. And I was like, it's their fucking fault. Oh, anyway. Yeah. Don't forget PCP movie night tomorrow night. Double Dragon. I will never forgive myself for fucking picking this movie to watch and talk about. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time. We got a full house. It's going to be me, Jelani and Brooks, Steph, Mark from Geeks Unleashed, and Joe Corallo. So cannot wait for that conversation. Fucking Double Dragon. You know, this is the second time I've seen the movie. I haven't seen it since I first watched it. Second, and I believe final time I will watch this movie. Oh, Lord. Bo was like, damn. I was like, yeah, just to let everybody know, it's all just a fucking bit. Fable says, glad I skipped that piece of shit. Bruh, it was rough. What's crazy is I start watching Double Dragon, and I'm like, this movie's got some potential. Maybe I got like a Mario Brothers situation here, where I think Super Mario Brothers is a better movie than we give it credit for. Same thing with the original Street Fighter, the Van Damme one. And the same thing with like Masters of the Universe. Bruh, Double Dragon, no. No, it's got some potential in the very, very beginning, and then it just falls on its ass completely. I completely also forgot that Alyssa Milano was in there. She's smoking in it, I'll tell you that. Scott Wolf's doofy ass. Jesus. The game was dope, Dynamite. But the movie, not so much. Man, they still can't get video game movies right. Seriously, I want to ask you. What are the best video games adapted into film? And what I'm going to get is a bunch of fucking Mortal Kombat, like the original one. Nope. What else am I going to get? We're going to get Mortal Kombat. What else? What do you got? What's the best movie based on a video game? I'm still standing by fucking Street Fighter, Raul Julia. Dynamite says Super Mario Brothers. Okay. You mean the new one? Like the animated movie? The animated movie's pretty spot on. I love the original. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, Dennis Hopper. William says Doom with The Rock. Anthony says the newest Super Mario was dope. Hello, Tacos. Hello. Says Silent Hill. Yeah, the animated one. All right. Mark says the original Super Mario Brothers movie. Okay, but this is what we're talking about. Resident Evil? Resident Evil? Y'all serious? Kurgan? William? Resident Evil? Have you rewatched that movie lately? Resident Evil's not good. Neither is Resident Evil Nemesis. Now, the third one, which I believe was called Extinction, that's a pretty good movie. That's not a bad movie. That's a good one. The Last of Us, not a movie though, says R. Ariaga. Yeah, I've heard about that. I haven't watched it or played it, of course. Anyway, I'm saying it's slim pickings. When people are out there saying Resident Evil, well, I haven't gotten any Mortal Kombat yet. I'm surprised about that. Usually that's what I hear is Mortal Kombat. I'm like, yeah, watch it. It's not as good as we remember. I'll tell you what is definitely not one of the greatest video games turned into a movie. Double fucking Dragon, which we'll be talking about tomorrow night. So if you want to see me cut a promo on Double Dragon, check us out tomorrow night on PCP Movie Night, 8 p.m. Central Time. One collection down says, Fallout was so good. Once again, Fable, I have to help you out. Have to help your intellect out a little bit. Fallout was a TV show. We're not talking about TV shows, brother. We're talking about movies. Feature-length movies. Fallout was a TV show, brother. Mark says he loves the latest Tomb Raider movie. Really? Tomb Raider? That's the best you got? My case is made. Pete says there are pretty much no good movies based on video games. Good shows, but no movies. Dynamite says it's probably better than Minecraft. I don't know. How was the Minecraft movie? That's out this week, right? Fuck you then, man. Fable says, I'm agreeing with Eddie, you dipshit. All right, fuck stick. They're working on a new Street Fighter movie. I think it drops 2026. They should just leave that alone. That's fine, Eddie. You're not part of the bit right now. But fuck you too, man. All right. Talking about TV shows, I did it. I told y'all last week that if we hit some super chats, that I would watch the first episode of Breaking Bad finally. And I did. I watched it this afternoon. And I liked it. It was very interesting. So, Breaking Bad, obviously a very, very popular show. I already know a little bit about just what the show's about, just based on pop culture osmosis, right? So, I knew it was about like a chemistry teacher who finds out that he's dying of cancer, who then starts cooking meth with a former student to like, I guess, leave money behind for his family. So I knew all that, right? So there was nothing really set up in the first episode that gave me anything new that I didn't know already, just through pop culture osmosis. But the execution of that first episode was pretty fucking solid, to be honest with you. Even knowing that this show is going to go for 5 or 6 seasons or whatever the hell it is. As soon as it starts with him crashing his Winnebago, getting out of there, putting on his t-shirt, hearing the cops show up, pulling out the gun, dead bodies in the RV, I was like, what? What? Is this the end of the show and we're flashing, like, are they that far ahead? But then the whole episode was anchored very, very well by that opening and how that leads into its ending. It was very, very effective, right? So Walter White, who's played by Bryan Cranston, a great character. Instantaneously, you feel this dude's struggle. He lives in a world of monotony and just not satisfied with his life or where he's going. He doesn't have a good sex life with his wife. One of my favorite bits in it is it's his birthday. It's his 50th birthday, right? And his wife is like watching one of her auctions on like her tablet or laptop or whatever the fuck. And she's like, it's your birthday, so, you know, I'm going to give you a hand job. And she gives him like, she attempts to give him like the weakest fucking birthday hand job of all time. First of all, it's somebody's birthday. They deserve more than a hand job, okay? Just going to say that. But it helps you feel where this dude is. I liken it to the way that we understand Lester's character, or the character of Lester in American Beauty. They set up in American Beauty that this dude is living this suburban, average American life, and he's just not satisfied, right? Both American Beauty and Breaking Bad are basically about midlife crises. But the difference with Breaking Bad is that this dude realizes that he doesn't have much longer to live, possibly. So it gives more motivation to his turn and what's going on. Walter White was a great character. The way they set it up was really good. And Bryan Cranston did a great job. All the characters were really cool. Everybody played their role just fine. I really liked this first episode. They did a great job of showing you how shitty this dude's life is, how dissatisfied with life he is, and why he makes the turn that he does. And I don't know where the show goes. Obviously, I'm pretty sure as he gets deeper into this world of methamphetamine and shit, I'm sure it's going to get crazier and crazier. It's kind of like Weeds. Weeds was a show I really, really liked. Starts off innocent enough. This widow's trying to sell some weed on the side to make a little bit of extra cash. She gets deeper and deeper into that world. It gets crazy. I'm sure that's going to happen in Breaking Bad. I'm excited. I'm excited to check it out. So excited, I'll tell you this. Any Super Chat will come with a shot, a Hellboy song, and a review of episode 2 for next week. Any Super Chat at any level. Somebody could throw $1 on the table, and my ass will take a shot, sing a song, watch Breaking Bad episode 2, and be fucking happy to talk about it next week. I loved the show. I thought it was a really solid first episode. It got me thinking. It got me thinking about my own life, honestly. It got me thinking, man, I'm 43. I'm about to be 44. We are like a month and 4 days from my 44th birthday. And wow, what have I done with my life? There's elements of Walter White that I'm feeling. A little bit of dissatisfaction in certain elements, certain parts of my life. Fuck, I don't want a cancer prognosis to be what gets me to actually fix some of those things, to reach beyond the mundane nature of bullshit life in your 40s in America. And honestly, I feel like I've been able to make my life more significant, more magical to my own experience and the people around me. But there's some things I could do better. And that movie, the show really, the first episode really had me like kind of eye-open just a little bit, but I really liked it. I thought all the performances were great. It had humor, it had comedy. It had some deep stuff. Once again, that whack-ass, weak-ass whack job, that whack-ass whack job was cracking me the fuck up. And like, he's getting into it finally, and she's like, oh yes, the auction, I got another bid, and like, it's so just ridiculous. And another thing I related to was the fact when he finds out what's going on, he doesn't tell anybody. Oh, man. I was like, I bet I would do the same fucking thing. I don't know. It was a great first episode. Really down for it. And now we got some super chats. One from Pete saying, I'm picking up drinks. Let's go, Robbie. And one from William saying, you are amazing. Well, thank you so much, William. I do appreciate that. So that's 2 shots. We'll do the first shot. We'll do the Hellboy song. We'll do the second shot. And we'll continue on with Rockin' Robbie Live into the DC sneak peek. But Breaking Bad episode 1, really liked it. I would give it a 4.68. You digs. Out of 5. I can't give it a full 5 yet because I want to see where it goes and how it develops. And I can't give it a 4.69 because that was a whack-ass whack job, if you know what I'm saying. But a 4.68, and I owe you one. 100%. Thank you for the recommendation. We'll do episode 2 next week here on Rockin' Robbie Live. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nun who had sex with a demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. And now he fights evil and monsters. Shit! Now he fights with a man who's a fish named Abe. Now he fights with a fire starter named Liz. And an ectoplasmic mess named Johan. BPRD. Ow! Thank you so much, Pete and William, for the super chat love. And everybody, make sure you give them a thank you and a station and a pop, pop, boom, and an anti-suck it for making sure that we get Breaking Bad episode 2 in for next week's Rockin' with Rockin' Robbie. Actually, it's Rockin' Robbie Live. My old show is called Rockin' with Rockin' Robbie. Like, my old show, like, from decades ago. But I guess I'm like Fable, losing some of my mental facilities. Now, I really liked it. I thought it was a really great show. Let me see some of the comments, see what was going on. Dynamite says, I never watched. Southside says, Breaking Bad only gets better every episode. Pete says, first episode in a nutshell. Was Ninja Assassin a game first and then a movie? Oh, Ninja Assassin, that's actually a good movie. I don't remember. I Am Will is in the house. Yo, yo, what up, Robbie? Has been a minute. Station. We'll station to you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Eddie says, season 2 midway, I think, is when Breaking Bad really starts cooking. Anthony says, yeah, every Breaking Bad episode outdoes the last. You have some mustard on your shirt. That was a funny fucking bit, Southside. I love that. There's the fascination on a very mundane element when he's getting this really heavy, life-changing news. Pete says, dude, I can't wait for you to dissect this show. Fuzzy says, I always thought Breaking Bad lacked something compared to The Wire or The Sopranos or Boardwalk Empire. I've only ever seen the first episode of Boardwalk Empire. I was liking it, but my girlfriend at the time did not, and we didn't continue watching it. I have never seen The Wire. I want to. I love The Sopranos, though. And that's something I wanted to say is, like, Breaking Bad gave me elements of The Sopranos, not in story. And The Sopranos, what it has going for it is a really great extended cast. So far, in the first episode of Breaking Bad, you don't get a lot of cast, but the way that it builds up the main character and lays out very efficiently the concept of the show and the world in which the show takes place reminded me of the first episode of Sopranos. Well, the first time I watched Sopranos, which was in the back of a comic shop that I worked at, and somebody had like a video projector there, and I just put it in, and I fucking loved it. Loved it. So, yeah, I'm getting on board with Breaking Bad, thanks to you, PCP Army. Eddie says, damn, I remember that double VHS for American Beauty. 9-Panel Grid says, Weeds was great up to season 3. Breaking Bad is great all the way through. I would say season 4 is where, yeah, you're right. Season 4 is where it kind of starts rolling off a little bit. Anthony says, Hank in Breaking Bad is hilarious too. Eddie says, after you watch Breaking Bad, you need to watch The Wire. I've always wanted to watch The Wire. Name Changes says, I don't have television, so I missed out on Breaking Bad. And missed out on The Sopranos. Oh, that sucks. Anthony says, Sopranos is my number 1, Breaking Bad number 2, Buffy the Vampire Slayer number 3. As it stands right now, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is my number 1 favorite show. Lost is number 2. I don't know what I'd put at number 3. As far as HBO shows go, I love Deadwood. I loved Oz. Love The Sopranos. Those one and Justified. That's not HBO. That's FX. Justified's a great show too. I need to rewatch Justified. Fuzzy says, The Wire is the show I compare everything against. It's my benchmark. Mark says, I've watched Boardwalk Empire, The Wire, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, all must-watch shows. Omar says, you like Twin Peaks? Yeah, Twin Peaks is one of my favorite shows as well. I can't believe I forgot Twin Peaks. I fucking love Twin Peaks. Now, I've never watched Twin Peaks The Return, but I just recently, a few months ago, finished a rewatch of the original Twin Peaks series and the movie Fire Walk with Me to set up to watch The Return, because I have it on a Blu-ray set. It's got the original show and the Return, right? So I need to watch that. I really do, especially since we lost David Lynch this year. Our Ariaga says, never got why people love The Wire so much. It's a very average corrupt cop show. Dynamite says, Peacemaker, Penguin, and Game of Thrones are on HBO Max. I like Peacemaker. I haven't watched Penguin yet. Game of Thrones I liked until I didn't. I think they shit the bed. House of the Dragon, though, I've been enjoying. You need to watch Jack of All Trades with Bruce Campbell. I remember that show. Spinoff of Xena and Hercules, right? The Bruce Campbell show I would say that you need to get back on is The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. Oh, and The Newsroom, Fuzzy. I love The fucking Newsroom. I'm a huge Aaron Sorkin head. Sports Night is a great show. The West Wing is a great show. And The Newsroom is a fucking phenomenal show. I haven't watched Reacher, Eddie. I know that's one of your things. I like this idea. Super chats to check out shows. But now you all got me stuck on Breaking Bad. Maybe I'll watch more than one episode. I never watched Californication, Fuzzy. That's the one with David Duchovny, right? Hell yeah. All right. Let's do something we haven't done in a minute. It's time for your official DC sneak peek. All right, seems like Lunar's getting back on track, so I was able to read my DC books. First thing I want to spotlight is the foil facsimile for Superman 233. It's the famous Breaking the Chains Neil Adams cover. I've actually never read this issue. It is written by Denny O'Neil with artwork by Kurt Swan. I love DC facsimiles because they print them on a newsprint type paper. They always have foil covers that are not at an additional charge like the Marvel ones. So that's pretty cool. They are building up to Superman Day, which is the 18th or some shit like that, including this Action Comics. This is an Action Comics #1 facsimile foil, and there's a regular one. It's like, what, $8.99 or something like that. And it reprints the very first appearance of Superman in its original Golden Age size, which I think is super freaking cool. But the coolest thing is because I've read that. I've read plenty of collections. The DC Finest collection for Superman has this in it. The archive editions, the Chronicles, the showcases, all that stuff, right? But none of them reprint all of the issue, including the Zatara book, including the little short story here. That's cool. Like, one of my favorite things about the Marvel Milestone edition of Amazing Fantasy number 15, which we did cover here on the channel, is not just reading the first appearance of Spider-Man, but reading the other stories that were in the book that have been lost to time. So those are two super cool facsimiles from DC this week. Definitely check them out if you get a chance. And last week I was showing off some comics, including Hawkworld number 10, and I just looked over and noticed our man Val Kilmer, The Doors. That was a good movie. All right, now to some actual modern comics. How about Fire and Ice When Hell Freezes Over, issue number 1. All right, so that first Fire and Ice series, I liked. I thought it had a charm to it. I thought it was cutesy. I thought it was fun. But then when I saw that they were doing another one, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I made it through the last one, but do I really care? I mean, it's in issue number 1. I got to read it, got to check it out. It's a new team, a new artist, Stephen Byrne. And Stephen Byrne, I think, had a bright future, but his work is just kind of, it's okay now. It's all right, right? But the story is fine. I really love Fire and Ice. The basic premise of this is that since the events of Absolute Power, Fire and Ice have had their powers swapped. So Ice has fire powers, and Fire has ice powers, right? So they're dealing with that. It does continue on the story and the world for these characters that was built up in the Welcome to Smallville miniseries that, like I said, was kind of cutesy and charming, and this one kind of maintains it. I wish we had an artist that leaned more into the sexy vibes, like the covers. There are plenty of sexy covers here. Interior art, not so sexy, but the story was pretty solid. I enjoyed it, and it even gives us, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's Fire and Ice. This book is going to be like Freaky Friday or The Parent Trap in a way. It's going to be like Freaky Friday with Fire and Ice is what's going on there. But I liked it. I thought it was good. Then we got Batman and Robin issue number 20. Philip Kennedy Johnson has been doing an okay job with Batman and Robin, but it's being overshadowed by, I think, Tom Taylor's Detective Comics, the big hoopla and hurrah all over Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb's return to the main Batman book. Books like Batman Dark Patterns, which we'll get to in a minute. But Batman and Robin issue number 20 worked. I feel like this book's been getting overshadowed, and I was even kind of on my way out of the title until I read this issue. Most of this issue is from Batman has to look at Robin's journal, and Robin is an aspiring cartoonist, right? So most of the book is Batman reading Damian Wayne's journal, which is in a comic book format, and it was rather touching. It does some interesting stuff artistically, and it does some interesting stuff with the characters. So this was a book that I was almost out on just because there's a plethora of Bat content out there. But this one pulled me right back in. This was one of the best issues of Philip Kennedy Johnson's Batman and Robin run. Then we've got DC versus Vampires, World War V, issue number 8. This is the story that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started reading it not knowing what it was, and they'll continue reading it forever just because this is the story that never ends. Anyway, it feels that way, right? But it's also kind of elevated itself, and it's upped the ante. It has upped the stakes. The new gods are involved now, and that's what's going on here. I thought the art... Otto Schmidt usually delivers some really kinetic artwork, but here lately I feel like it's been phoned in. But here, the artwork is starting to kick back up. You got Ra's al Ghul as Batman. You got Alfred Pennyworth as a Green Lantern. You got some interesting things happening here with the new gods getting involved, so I'm enjoying it. It does feel like it's being padded out for no reason, but I'm here for it. I'm having fun with that book. Then we got Green Lantern Corps, issue number 3. I've been liking this book. First of all, Pasarin's artwork is pretty freaking solid. I was a fan of his art. Well, he was recently on something. Was it the Green Lantern War Journal book? Anyway, that being said, some interesting stuff being done with the Green Lantern core, but in particular the other cores in the emotional spectrum, especially Rage. How has the Rage power set been kept alive? What is the result of the breaking apart of Thanagar? Some really big, epic moments here that honestly could be bigger moments if they would pace the story in a way to allow some. There's a big moment here that I just showed. That's one splash page that should have been a double splash page. That would have really been a wow factor moment. So I think the art is solid, but it needs to be able to deliver more of the cosmic epicness of this book. It feels a little restricted and confined artistically, but the story's been great, and I'm loving what's being developed here by Jeremy Adams and company. Action Comics 1085. I was skipping the John Ridley story because I wasn't vibing with it. Now we got G. Willow Wilson on the book. This is part of the Superman Superstars thing, where they're basically bringing in popular writers and sometimes popular artists to come in and do like a three-issue Superman arc. This is G. Willow Wilson. I love what she's doing right now on Poison Ivy, but this was an all-right average issue of Action Comics. It was okay. Superman has to go to Antarctica to, I don't know. It was kind of boring. It was kind of dull. It did not do much for me. All right, on to the good books. The really good ones. Aquaman issue number 4 was fan-frickin-tastic. This is how I want an Aquaman book to be. It is, first of all, very much plugged into the DCU continuity. Everything going on with the dark side, the absolute universe, all that jazz, it's all evident here. And I think Aquaman's going to be more important to this overall DC story than a lot of people are thinking it's going to be. The art by John Timms is great. Aquaman is all of his people are missing. He goes through a portal. He's trying to figure out what's going on. Great dynamic artwork. A really cool, kinetically paced story. I had a lot of fun with this book. And Aquaman's also got some new powers that he's trying to work with, but I also love how much it's plugged in to the overall story of DC All In and how all in it is. Then we got Batman Dark Patterns issue number 5 here. The second part of the second story arc, which is a ventriloquist Scarface story. This is set in Batman's early days. Artwork by Hayden Sherman. Brilliant artwork by Hayden Sherman. They are one of my favorite artists working in comics today. And this is written by Dan Watters, who, aside from the great artwork by Hayden Sherman, Dan Watters knows how to give us a really cool concept for a comic book, right? He likes to twist things and make things very interesting. Here's the premise of this current arc in Batman Dark Patterns. The spirit of Scarface has now taken over an entire apartment building. So it's Batman versus an apartment building, but the apartment building is the new vessel for Scarface. Pretty freaking interesting, very cool, dynamic artwork, a very cool, interesting take on the story. That book was awesome. Then we've got Absolute Batman here with issue number 7. This does not have Nick Dragotta on the artwork, but the last time we had a Dragotta-less issue of Absolute Batman kind of faltered a little bit. Now, I love Gabriel Hernandez Walta, but he was not the artist to come in the middle of a Nick Dragotta story that people are loving the artwork. But here we got Marcos Martin. Now, we know Marcos Martin. He's a very accomplished artist, and he's a wonderful colorist, but he's not coloring it here. This Munsta Vincente. The artwork is amazing. It's great. It's not quite Nick Dragotta, but it gets the job done better and fits in better. And this is delivering to us the origin of not just Absolute Mr. Freeze, but Absolute Matches Malone. So it's got some interesting things going on. It's not completely winning me over, but I did love the artwork, especially that page right there. Look at that. Look at those colors. And the Absolute version of Mr. Freeze is pretty interesting. More interesting than I think Scott Snyder's take was in the New 52. So it was pretty good. So to wrap it up, Absolute Batman was decent. Batman Dark Patterns was really fucking good. Aquaman was fucking awesome. Action Comics was kind of whack. but not quite as whack as the whack job of the wife of Walter White in the episode 1 of Breaking Bad. Green Lantern Corps was cool, but I wish the art was a little bit more bigger and epic in scale and scope. DC versus Vampires World War V, kicking it up a few notches. Then we got Batman and Robin, best issue of that run yet. Fire and Ice, charming, cute, and fun. All right, that's what you got, and that has been your DC Sneak Peek. All right, now we're going to take the second shot for that second super chat. Cheers. Ah, delicious. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, we got more chat to fucking talk about. More chat to talk about? Jesus Christ. Who the fuck am I? All right, we'll see you in just a moment.
Pikeman 2000 says, "Where do you get your comics from? Need that Frankenstein book plate." Where you been, man? Manager of the Deep, Comics Games, been here 10 years. The YouTube is more recent than the manager position. Where you been?
Hey everybody, welcome back here to Pop Culture Philosophers. Welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Billups. Station Pop Pop Boom. It's the year of the heel, the year of PCPX, and if you ain't down with being a heel, and if you ain't down with PCPX, I got 2 words for you. Get fucked. How about that? All right, moving on. You should follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Instagram and on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can follow me on X, which is shit, over at the Rockin Robbie. I haven't jumped onto any other social medias because I'm 43, going on 44. I ain't got time for socials no more. Anyway, you can find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. And if you want to help support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP Army generals. Like there, do they not call him a king or a general? They call him Cuckoo Khan, the feathered winged serpent. That's right. It's the best part of the second Black Panther movie, and one of the only good parts to me. Anyway, you can also do so with Super Chat tonight, which will unlock a shot and a Hellboy song. And at this point, fuck, I'll do some karaoke. I got a request. You got a request? How about more tequila? Here we go. Wonderful. All right. We're reviewing one of the worst movies of all time tomorrow night for PCP Movie Night. We're talking about Double Dragon. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be a full panel, a full house, for a wonderful movie. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, we just wrapped up the DC sneak peek. Let's see if anybody had any thoughts. 9-panel grid says, hell yeah, Sorkin is great. Charlie Wilson's War should be on PCP Movie Night one day. Charlie Wilson's War is a really good movie. I like that movie. And yeah, I'm a huge Aaron Sorkin fan. I don't think Sports Night gets enough love. Sports Night is a wonderful show. I used to have it all on a DVD set. And then I got rid of it anticipating that there would be a Blu-ray set. There never was. And I don't even know if it's streaming anywhere. Where is Sports Night streaming? If y'all have never watched Sports Night, you got to watch it. It's streaming on Amazon Prime and Apple TV for fees. It's so good. And Newsroom is great. And of course, The West Wing. I'm a huge Aaron Sorkin fan. His dialogue is like no others. Fuzzy says, Billions is great. William says, then watch Lucifer. I've never seen the Lucifer show. Mark says, Lost is one of the best shows ever. My bad. Lost is one of the best shows ever, mate. Chokos was excited for the DC sneak peek. I'm excited to be able to deliver it. Name changes says, nice. I'm going to get fire and ice. William says, kill it, Charlie Horse. Silhouette says, yo, Robbie, do you have any guesses on who will be writing the new Legion of Superheroes book? No, but if I had to guess, maybe Mark Waid tries another attempt. Derek says, Robbie, did you read all 3 issues of Tom Scioli's Godzilla Monsterpiece Theater? Yes, I did. I loved it. I covered it on my weekly comic book review. Where the fuck you been? Silhouette says, how would you feel about Tom King writing Legion? So I like Tom King, and I also don't like Tom King. Some books I love, some books I don't like. Right now, I love his Wonder Woman. His Ginny Sparks was kind of in the middle, and I don't like his Black Canary book. That being said, I don't think Legion would be the book for Tom King. I don't think that's suited to his strengths. Right now, I think Mark Waid is the best person DC has to do a Legion book. But I would have to talk to some of my Legion homies, my Legion diehard homies. I'd have to talk to Dennis Camp. I'd have to talk to Joe Corallo. These are people that know the Legion more than I do. And maybe they have some... Oh, fuck. Okay, Dennis Camp or Joe Corallo. Either of them would be fine. How about them? Instead of asking them what they think, who they think should be the next writer, how about them? That would be great. Boom, boom, boop, ba-doop, boop, ba-doop, boop, 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 ba-doop, boop, ba-doop, boop. What is going on? Why is this doing weird shit? All right, here we go. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Eddie is answering Derek. Yeah, he did review Godzilla Monsterpiece Theater, and they pull quoted him in the IDW previews. They did. The newest issue of IDW previews, there's a pull quote from yours truly about that book. CTA Frank says, The Wired, best show in the last 30 years. You mean The Wire? That's one we got to get into. I'm going to request the theme song from Star Trek Enterprise. Eddie, if you throw out a super chat, you're more than welcome to request that song, but I ain't getting past the first line because I don't know it, because I hate that fucking song. I just know that it's been a long road. This show is shitty. Oh, here we go. It's been a long road to make this shitty show. We think that this Vulcan's tits are gonna distract you from how shitty this show is. How's that? How do you feel? More Warren G. Let's smoke a little bit. Let's drink a little bit. Well, next super chat, we'll do some fucking Warren G. Let's do it. Jay, you might as well say you hope the fans win, Eddie. Yeah, how are you doing, Jay? Jay says, better. Still exhausted and feel like there's a giant marble in my nasal cavity. All right. Paul Levitt's back on Legion, says William. I think he's kind of done. Dallas says, The Wire is really good, but that was random. Well, we were talking about HBO shows. Like Breaking Bad has been heavily recommended. I watched the first episode. We're doing episodes 2 and maybe 3 for next week. Silhouette says, Ron V gives 0 fucks about the Legion, but I would love his take so much. Yeah, I'm right there with you. The Legion is one of those properties that I've never really gotten to get into. Never really, but I know that Joe Corallo is a huge fan of the Legion of Superheroes, and I've asked, so him and Dennis Camp are 2 homies that love the Legion of Superheroes. And I asked Dennis Camp, where should I start? And he mentioned the Keith Giffen 5 years later run, of which then I bought the first 12 issues. I got the first 12 issues of that run, but I've never actually read it. And I know Dennis. I know that Dennis knows what I like in comics. So Dennis knows that that's what I'll like. But then I asked Joe Corallo. He goes, oh yeah, that will be your favorite Legion run, but you should really read some stuff leading up into it. And I said, well, Joe, where should I start? You know what this motherfucker told me? He goes, from the beginning. He's like, you should start reading from the very fucking beginning. And I was like, oh, I don't know, man. I tried that with Doctor Who and it didn't fucking work. So Silhouette says, dude, I love the idea and concepts of the Legion above all other teams. They have so much potential. I agree. A lot of potential there. But I hear that Keith Giffen, 5 years later run is really, really fucking good. All right, real quick, I want to know your thoughts. What did you think about the Superman sneak peek? Cinecon was this week. Lots of news revealed, but in particular, my favorite thing was the first look at Superman. It was basically an extended trailer. It gives us a little bit of the first scene, or not the first scene in the movie. I'm not sure if it's the first scene in the movie, but it's that scene that we saw in that initial trailer where Krypto comes to save Superman after getting the shit kicked out of him. We see more of that, and Krypto's acting like a dog, and it's kind of funny, right? I thought that was cool. And then you have him getting led into the Fortress of Solitude with his robots, and that was a funny bit. Shows some of the James Gunn humor that's going to be in the movie, which I think will actually help humanize Superman. Then you get clips that we've already seen from the trailer, but each clip was just slightly extended, and I fucking loved it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I thought it was amazing, and I am so pumped up right now. My most anticipated movie this year, and yeah, my favorite comic book series of all time is Fantastic Four. That's my shit. I will always buy Fantastic Four no matter how shitty it is, and I am really looking forward to that Fantastic Four movie. But Superman, to me, takes the fucking cake. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. I want to know what y'all thought about that Superman tease. Take a sip of my Sparkling Frost Orange Mango. This is the Aldi version of sparkling ice. Times are getting tight. All these tariffs coming up. We got to save whatever we can when we can. Because you know our comics are about to go through the roof. So are our toys. Everybody's worried about the tariffs having an impact on comic book prices. We should be worried and concerned about that. But we should also be worried and concerned about the price on toys. Because that's going to be crazy. Talking about the Superman trailer, Hydra Asylum, Jay says, dug it, we'll be there on opening day. Bro, you were going to be there on opening day already. Pete says, funny robots, funny dogs, made me laugh. Silhouette says, I liked it. William says, Superman script has leaked online. Well, don't read it to me, please. I want to be surprised a little bit. Eddie Von B says, when they listed his injuries, I was like, how in the hell did he get hurt that bad? I'm pumped to see it. Same thing here. Silhouette says, I think James Gunn is hiding a lot of what's going to happen in the movie, which is the exciting thing. I agree. William says, love the trailer. Pete says, I'm ready for a Superman summer. Yeah, I'm ready for that hot Superman boy summer. William says, people will cry more when canned beer goes up since the metal to canned beer comes from Canada. Oh, I didn't even know that. That's fucked up. Guess they're going to go back to bottles. We did a nice little conversation about that on the Blame Fables Bullshit show Friday night, so you should check that out. One collection down, Fable. Speaking of the bullshit artist himself, Fable says, all Transformers come from China. I'm shitting bricks for my pre-orders right now. Yeah, I bet, bruh. And I know that you're committed to the Age of the Prime, so fuck. Superion's going to be expensive as fuck. By the way, some good news. I'm finally starting to get into my shop some pieces that I missed to make Minosaur. I got 3 out of the 5 pieces. I haven't bought them yet. That's why Super Chats help. If anybody wants to hear me go karaoke on Warren G Regulators and the Hellboy song and another shot, and this shot's for free, throw out a Super Chat if any. How many shots in am I? Officially 2. But more than that, bro. I don't know how many shots I've taken. Probably 6. But I'm saying I got some Minosaur pieces I got 3 that have come into my shop. They're being held for me right now because I'm the manager of the shop. I can hold whatever the fuck I want, right? I know where to hide it. Like, I'll go to my employees and be like, you guys can't hold so much shit. You got to put it back. Then they're all like, what's all that shit in there? And I'm like, don't worry about that shit in there. Pay no attention to the toys hidden behind the curtain. But I want a Minosaur, and I erringly so passed on the Minosaur stuff when it was first released. So now I got 3 out of the 5 set back for me. So we need super chats so we can get Minosaur. Come on, y'all. What you got? But you're right, Fable, dude. They're going to start getting more expensive, and the toys have already been more expensive. I think that's a great idea for Jelani and Brooks to tackle on a video. What do y'all think? Jelani and Brooks should talk about toy prices and tariffs. That's what I think. That's what's up. All right, another thing I want to talk about. There's this Minecraft movie out. I don't give a shit. And the game, I've tried playing Minecraft. I've had partners in the past that love playing Minecraft. They want me to be a part of playing Minecraft with them, and I just can't get into it. It's just not a game for me. I like playing Street Fighter, which I have my Street Fighter arcade right there. I like playing Street Fighter. I like playing racing games. I like playing old school Mario games and retro NES games and shit like that. So Minecraft is not my thing. But what is my thing is McDonald's. So McDonald's has a Minecraft adult Happy Meal, which I purchased this last few weeks. Mostly because I wanted to get a Birdie and a Grimace and a Hamburglar Minecraft toy. The toy I got was the McDonald's fries helmet, which is cool enough, but it's not the one that I wanted. I want the Grimace, I want Birdie, I want Hamburglar, but you know what? That's cool too. That's neat. I wonder if you get one of those other toys, if this fits on it. I doubt it, because it's kind of large. But it's cool. It's a moment in time. That's what I got. But what I did want to talk about is I got the chicken nugget adult Happy Meal. My bad. The chicken McNugget. And it comes with a new sauce, the Nether Flame Sauce. Y'all, this is one of the best new McNugget sauces from McDonald's ever. Like, it's so good. It's meant to be a spicy sauce. And what's surprising is it's actually kind of spicy. It's got a kick to it. If you are a normie out there, not a spice lord, this might be a little hot for you. It's really good. Pete, like Pete said, I think you can go in there and just buy the toys, but where's the fun in that, brother? Where's the fun in that? Because I wanted to try this new sauce out as well. And I'm going to have to try it again to try to get my Grimace and my Birdie and my Hamburglar. And then might as well get the fucking potion or whatever. But I love these fucking stupid little things. But I love this sauce. This sauce cannot leave McDonald's. It's actually got some spice to it. It's got some kick. It was a delicious McNugget sauce. Has anybody else tried it? I thought it was really good. Name Changes says, man, I hate Minecraft. It's not for me. I agree. It's not for me, but it can be for other people, and that's fine. It can be fun. That's fine, right? That's totally fine. How much are the adult Happy Meals? I didn't even know they had those. I think they're like fucking $12.99 or something like that. It's basically a Big Mac or a 10-piece McNugget meal. That's like $1 extra because you get a toy and this. And they've done these a couple times. Like they were doing the new McNugget Buddies last year, and they did I didn't get all the McNugget Buddies. And then they did the retro glasses. I didn't get all of those either. I can't eat that much McDonald's. Now, I could eat that much Taco Bell and Del Taco, but McDonald's, not so much. And you can also buy these things on the aftermarket if you want, like on eBay or something like that. But yeah, they're usually like, I think 12 to 14 bucks, something like that. Very comparable. Like what's a Big Mac value meal cost from McDonald's now? It's about the same, right? So Name Changes says, man, I don't eat much McDonald's, but they had a Hello Kitty, Yu-Gi-Oh plushes, and I got at least half of them. Hell yeah. Peter says, same price in Jersey. All right. I don't know, though. What's really surprising to me is how good this nugget sauce is. This has been the best new nugget sauce from McDonald's since the Szechuan sauce, which I wish they would bring that shit back. I really, really do. All right, we don't have much for show and tell tonight. Fable says, I refuse to pay $13 for a McNugget Happy Meal. You could get the sauce without the meal, just saying, you goof. Yeah, you can. And if you buy a 10-piece McNugget meal from McDonald's, you asshat, it's pretty much near the same price. So why not pay a little bit more to get a fucking toy with it? Get fucked, Fable. Trying to undercut me. Hydra Asylum says, I mean, get a fuck, like, what do you get, a 4 fucking piece, Fable? Is that what you get? You like a 4-piece McNugget? Is that what you want? I want a 10-piece McNugget meal. What's the difference? You know what? Fuck it. What is the difference? I'm going to open up DoorDash. Now, I know DoorDash prices are a little bit more expensive. But let's just test something out. All right, I'm on McDonald's for DoorDash. Let's go to combo meals. How much is a 10-piece McNugget combo meal? Where's it at? A 10-piece McNugget meal is $10.79. Cool. How much is the adult Happy Meal? Let's see. Where the fuck is it at? Where is... Oh, they got the fucking Shamrock McFlurry and Shake Back. People really like that. What is the Shamrock... What is it flavored like? It's green. It's not mint, is it? All right, your regular ass Happy Meal is $5.99. But how much is the adult Happy Meal? Why can I not find it? Bear with me, I'm looking. Also, the Big Mac meal is $11.19. This is DoorDash. $10.79 for the McNugget meal. Where the fuck is the adult Happy Meal? Why am I not finding it? I wonder if they're out of toys and they took it off of this DoorDash just for this. It's very similar. It's like $1 or $2 more, though. Where the fuck is it? Rockin Robbie Live, where Robbie spends 20 minutes looking through DoorDash menu just to try to prove a fucking point. God damn it. Just search it. I need to learn how to spell. Oh, they don't have it on here anymore. Let me go to previous orders then, because that's one of the places I ordered it from. It was $15.19. Damn. All right, they charged my ass $4 more. Shit. Yeah, you're right, Fable. I got. It's mint chocolate. Blech. Fuck that. You can just get the sauce if you want. The sauce is good. Tastes like a liquid mint Girl Scout cookie. Yeah, I don't like thin mints. I don't like mint and chocolate. That's just not one of my favorite combinations. Fable says, I got the app, you old man. It has deals. We've got a cheesy jalapeno quarter pounder right now at our stores, and that's a good burger. Yeah, the quarter pounder is great. And yeah, you add in some fucking jalapenos on that? Shit, yeah. What burger has a sweet and spicy sauce you can buy in stores here? And it's awesome on chicken patties, nuggets, and burgers. Whataburger has a chicken. Okay. I got a Whataburger in town. They're pretty good. This is how the PCP stable fractures over fucking McNuggets. Blows my mind. You get an adult Happy Meal over there. Wow. Yeah. Well, whatever. I bought it for the fucking novelty of it, Fable. Jesus. No Whataburger here, only Culver's. We just got a Culver's in town. I've never eaten at Culver's. We have Culver's now. We just got our first Del Taco, which we talked about. I like Del Taco. It's good shit. All right, I got this song stuck in my head. It's Warpaint, Billie Holiday. So stuck in my head. It's so good. So good. All right. We don't have much for show and tell tonight, but let me just grab this random stack of comics. How about that? Let's grab a random stack of comics. From over there, we'll see what we wound up with. Fuzzy says, we don't have adult Happy Meals in Scotland. That sucks. It really does. Here's to you, buddy. All right. Oh, this is a cool stack to pick up. This is an Avenging Spider-Man with a Blade commission cover art by Tony Scott. Yeah, Tony Scott. This was gifted to me by a fan of our show that we do on the EXP. Here's another one. This is by Dan Neidlinger, but it's a Venom #1 with a Venom cover sketch, an homage to one of my favorite Eric Larson covers. So that's pretty dope. Oh, my Cherry Pop-Tarts. Here's my issue #1 of Cherry Pop-Tart, which is erotic Archie comics, basically. I mean, that kind of stuff, that's all we're going to show. All right, and I have #2. I'm glad that they were right there. Like, I obviously, at some point in the past, was like, keep these ones close at hand. I don't have 3, but I have #4. I want this whole run. I don't have 5, but I have 6. I don't have 7 or 8, but I have 9. I don't have 10, but I have 11. And I think that's all I have. And dude's still making them. Then we got Batman and Robin All-Star. How about All-Star Batman and Robin, The Boy Wonder? Issue #1. Issue #2. Yeah, fuck Jim Lee coming back to do Hush 2. How about finish this? There's issue #3. Actually, that's issue #2. Oh, fuck, I got 2 covers for issue #1. Look at that. I got the Miller and the Lee cover. Then there's 2 and 3. And there's 4. And I got the rest of them as well. They're placed in a very important spot in my collection. Right here next to my head. Yep. So there's #5. #6. #7. #8. And #9. And I don't believe that the book went any further than that. Nope, it did not. All right, then I got 2 more books here. How about a Marvel team-up 137? It's Aunt May and Franklin Richards and Galactus team-up. That just seems ridiculous enough that we need to read it. Oh, and check this shit out. Mark Jewelers, baby. Yeah, suck it, Comic Tom. All right, and how about this? I've had this for a while. I've had this since I was a kid. Because I've always told everybody the first name in comics I knew, as far as creators go, was John Byrne. How about my She-Hulk #1? Newsstand edition. How about that? Man. How about some Marvel in the 80s, Marvel in the 90s coming up? Let me know if you want to see it. If you want to see it, throw out a super chat. We'll do a shot. We'll sing a song. And we'll do these. And we'll bring back Marvel in the 90s next week. Let me know. We're wrapping it up right now. Man, I want to dive back into these Cherry Pop-Tarts. I got to fill out that collection. Boom, ba-dum, bum, bum. The song Billie Holiday by Warpaint is totally stuck in my head. It's so good, y'all. All right. Also, for show and tell, just picked this up recently. Wally Wood from Wits End. VIP Pass, the complete collection of Wally Wood's work in Wits End, which was a magazine that had comic strips. And Wally Wood did some great work in this book. As far as I'm aware and what I've heard, I haven't read these yet. So I'm really excited to dive into this. Wally Wood is an artist that I think doesn't get enough credit. And this is a really, really cool put together book that I'm very, very excited to dive into. And I'll talk to you about it hopefully when I do. But then here's something I got really excited. Sleepy Reader, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Love you, Damien. Super excited. I watched your latest video, and it was dope. So before we celebrate the super chat, this is something, Damien, that you definitely need to be aware of if you're not already. This just came into my shop. This was part of a crowdfund on Zoop, but as soon as it came up, and speaking of Wally Wood, how about Jack Kirby and Wally Wood working together? So right before Jack Kirby did the Fantastic Four with Stan Lee, he did a comic strip called Sky Masters of the Space Force. And from what I'm aware of, this comic strip's kind of lost. But the Jack Kirby Museum went through and meticulously found everything and put it together and did this delicious hardcover. So you can find it online right now. It's like a $50 hardcover. It is fucking worth it. It is so good. So the book is written and illustrated by Jack Kirby, but it's inked by Wally Wood. So it's Wally Wood inking Jack Kirby in comic strip sci-fi format. So fucking cool. And in color. Oh, hell yeah, you got it? That's awesome. Previously, there was only one volume with the black and white daily strips. So yeah, it's in color. So it has the complete run. And by the way, it smells so fucking good. I might throw it in to the weekly comic book review next week just to do a smell of the week because it smells amazing. So it has the strip and it has a lot of information about the strip and it has some of the throwaway panels, I guess, that they deleted and shit like that. So it's a very complete book. But then it's got Jack Kirby's original color guides, hand-colored color guides from Jack Kirby. That is fucking phenomenal and worth the price of admission alone. And then if that's not enough, how about some original artwork from Jack Kirby and Wally Wood right there, y'all? That's fucking amazing. I've never read any of this stuff, but as soon as I saw this funding, I had to get a hold of it, and my shop's got a couple copies. They're going to sell very, very quickly. I am certain. My goal this week is to sell those hardcovers. It's got a lot of information about the book. It's got a lot of cool features about the book. It's Jack Kirby. It's Wally Wood. It smells great. This is, like, to me, already one of the best collections of the year. Zoop does great stuff. They're the ones who worked with our buddy Nick Patera on his Axe Wielder John book. And Zoop is also doing the Megaton Man collections from Don Simpson. So I pay attention to Zoop. I really do. And you got to pay attention to them because of books like this. It's oversized, normal comic book size versus this book. Absolutely amazing. Cannot wait to dive into it. I knew that would be something that you liked, Damien. And Damien, have you picked up this or do you have this one? Like, I'm excited about this one. I just got that one too. Anyway, great deals. We also got a super chat from Ian. Thank you so much. Marvel in the 80s would be sweet. All right. Next week, Marvel in the 90s comes back. Marvel in the 90s or 80s. I just miss using that voice. So let's celebrate, y'all. Let's start with a shot. I owe 2 shots, 1 Hellboy song, and Regulators. Or Regulate, I should say. Cheers. This is to you, Damien. You're the shit. We're doing it up. Come on, y'all. That's right. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nun who had the sex with the demon. but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Shit! Now he fights with a man who's a fish named Abe. Now he fights with a fire starter named Liz and an ectoplasmic mess named Johan. PPRD. Thank you so much, Damien, for the super chat. Ian, thank you so much. It's time for your shot. Taki, I see you, brother. I see you, my friend. We're almost through this bottle of tequila. We didn't start there. We started like here. So it's fine. It's the bottle I was drinking on Blame Fable's shitty ass show. Ian, this one's for you. Yeah. Just want to make sure I don't miss any lyrics. Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good at it too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep. Regulators! Mount up! It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets, trying to consume some skirts for the eve, so I could get some funk. Rolling in my ride, chilling all alone. Just hit the east side on the LBC, on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. Seen a car full of girls and a need to tweet. All you skirts know what's up with 213. So I hooks a left on 21 and Lewis. Some brothers shooting dice, so I said, let's do this. I jumped out my ride and said, what's up? Some brothers pull some gats, so I said, I'm stuck. Since these girls peeping me, I'm gonna glide and swerve. These hookers looking so hard, they straight hit the curb. On to bigger, better things than some horny tricks. I see my homie got some suckers all in his mix. I'm getting jacked, I'm breaking myself. I can't believe they taking Warren's wealth. They took my rings, they took my Rolex. I looked at the brother, said, damn, what's next? They got my homie hemmed up and they all around. Can none of them come around if they going straight for pound for pound? They wanna come up real quick before they start to clown. I best pull out my strap and lay them busters down. They got guns to my head, I think I'm going down. I can't believe this happened in my own town. If I had wings, I would fly. Let me contemplate. I glance in the cut and I see my homie Nate. This is my favorite shit. 16 in the clip and 1 in the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn cold. Now they dropping and yelling, it's a tad bit late. Nate Dogg and Warren G had to regulate. Do 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 do. Do 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 bum 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 bum. This is such a great album. Seriously, Regulate, G-Funk era, one of the greatest hip-hop albums of the 90s. I laid all them busters down, I let my gat explode. Now I'm switching my mind back into freak mode. If you want skirts, sit back and observe. I just left a gang of hoes over there on the curb. Hey, Nate got the freaks, and that's a known fact. Before I got jacked, I was on the same track. Back up, cause it's on N-A-T-E and me. The Warren to the G. Excuse me, gassy. Gassy chicken. Just like I thought, they were in the same spot in need of some desperate help. But Nate Dogg and their G-Child were in need of something else. One of them dames, sexy as hell. I said, ooh, I like your size. She said, my car's broke down and you seem real nice. Would you let me ride? I got a car full of girls and it's going real swell. The next stop is the East Side Motel. I'm tweaking into a whole new era. G-Funk, step to this, I dare ya. Funk on a whole new level. The rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble chords. Strings, we brings melody. G-Funk, where rhythm is life and life is rhythm. If you know like I know, you don't want to step to this. It's the G-Funk era, funk down with a gangster twist. If you smoke like I smoke, then you're high like every day. And if your ass is a buster, 213 will regulate. do 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 bam 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 banana do 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 da 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 na do 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 do. Man, that's such a good album. Such a good album. Thank you all so much for the super chats and the love, Taki. I got a shot for you. Ready? Let off and bust it down and let my cat explode. Now I'm freaking my mind back in the switch mode. Freaking my mind back into switch mode? Jesus Christ, I'm becoming as lame as Fable. All right. Haven't gotten the Wits End. Looks amazing. Yeah, I would recommend it, brother. It's all, like, there's a Wits End book that has, like, selected bits from Wits End, but this one I think is all the Wally Wood stuff, and it's got a lot of, like, back matter and shit like that. Really cool. Nate Dogg has an album. It's a 2-disc set, which was ridiculous at the time. But it's like Ghetto Preacher or something. Shit's good. Shit's good. You forgot I was on tonight, Taki? Well, fuck you for forgetting, but here's to you. Ian says, love the show, thanks. Oh, thank you. Hazo says, I recently bought the Heroes Reborn Omnibus because of your Marvel in the 90s videos. Well, hell yeah. Tell Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee that, please. I looked at my brother, said, damn, what's next? Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. So I remember one time, like, what was it? Wood shop back in the day. Anybody else had to take wood shop, right? In, like, middle school or some shit. We had to, like, I don't know. It's just like, it was one of those weeks where, because we did that shit where you had to make like the car, and then we had a race or whatever. And there's all kinds of, I don't even remember. But I remember this dude making this elaborate fucking set out of wood, and it was a city. And in the middle of the city was this big ass sign that said, East Side Motel. Rockin Robbie Live, Unplugged on MTV. Hell yeah. G-Funk Era Slept On was a really good hip-hop album. His second album's really good, too. Take a good, hard, long look over your shoulder or whatever. I once knew a trick named Annie Mae. Ooh. I once knew this trick named Annie Mae. Oh, yeah. That's some good shit. Yeah, the Pinewood Derby. He had CO2 cars. Hell yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. But I remember this dude. I can't remember his name, but he was my homie at the time. He was my woodshop homie. And he made like an East Side motel in the middle of this city that he made. Everybody else was making paddles. That was the big thing. None of us even seen Dazed and Confused before, but we were all making paddles. That whole album, G-Funk Era, that whole fucking album is amazing. So here's a funny story before we move on and end the show. Really funny story. So one of my ringtones back in the day, this is like 10, 15 years ago. One of my ringtones was from that album. And it's the song. I can't remember the song now. Is it This DJ? But it's the one it's the one that goes, it's kind of easy when you listen to the G'd up sounds. Pioneer speakers bumping as a smoke on the pound. I got that sound for your ass, and it's easy to see that this DJ be Warren G. Yeah, so that bit was my ringtone. It's kind of easy when you listen to the G'd up sounds. Pioneer speakers pumping as you bump on the pound, as you smoke on the pound. I got that sound for your ass, and it's easy to see that this DJ be Warren G. So an ex-girlfriend of mine, we're at her family's house for Thanksgiving. And they're doing this really weird shit where there's like 25 people gathered around this long ass table, holding hands. They're about to say their Thanksgiving prayer, their annual Thanksgiving prayer. So I'm holding hands. I know what to do. I know what to do in these situations. Put your head down, close your eyes, just let it happen. Right? And this dude's praying, like the uncle of the family or whatever. He's praying, and out of nowhere, my phone goes off, and it goes, boom. It's kind of easy when you listen to the G'd up sounds. Pioneer speakers pumping as I smoke on a pound. I got the sound for your ass, and it's easy to see that this DJ be Warren G. It happened in the middle of this motherfucker's prayer, man. It's one of my favorite moments ever. Yeah, this DJ. Love that. Dude, and also that fucking Super Soul Sis song. Oh my God. I talk so much shit, I got halitosis. It sounds like me in Fable. It does. Did I do your shot talkie? I think I did. Maybe I did. Let's do another one. And we're keeping the G-Funk era alive for talkie. And I'll tell you why. We're keeping it alive for you, Taki, because you understand and you're real and you get it. You're not on my list, just so you know. Because the blues has always been totally American. As American as apple pie. As American as the blues. As American as apple pie. The question is why? Why should the blues be so at home here? Well, America provided the atmosphere. Now allow me to do this the way I used to do it. You don't see what I see every day as Robbie B. I take a look over my shoulder as I get older, getting tired of motherfuckers saying, Robbie, I told ya. Gas. You don't hear what I hear, but it's so hard to live through these years with these funny bunny. Ain't shit changing. Got my mama wondering if I'm gang banging, but I don't pay attention to these father figures. I just handle mine and I'm rolling with mine. Off to the VIP. You see, Snoop Dogg and Warren G. Unbelievable how time just flies right before your eyes, but you don't recognize. Now who's the real victim? Can you answer that? That's jacking or the getting jacked. You don't see what I see every day as Robbie B. You don't hear what I hear, but it's so hard to live through these years. You don't see what I see every day as Robbie B. You don't see or you don't hear what I hear, but it's so hard to live through these years. Another sunny day, another bright blue sky, another day, another motherfucker die. These are the things I went through when I was growing up. There's only one who didn't should be showing up, and I knew it. There ain't really nothing to it. Thinking every fool's gotta go through it. Now let's go back how far back in time, dragging to these hookers further Mac from mine. I remember when we used to stop at the spot. Back then my name was Snoop Rock. It was also clear. 87, 88, 89's a year. You say where we roll? What? Oh, you say everywhere we roll thick. Way back then, 213 was the click. Something to get paid, I just a young hog. Warren G, Snoop Rock, and Nate Dogg. I fucked that one up. You don't see what I see every day as Robbie B. You don't hear what I hear, but it's so hard to live through these years. You don't see what I see every day as Robbie B. You don't hear what I hear, but it's so hard to live through these years. You make me wanna holla, get out the game. Too many motherfuckers know my name. While Snoop Dogg serving time up in Wayside, I had to put it on the street, tried to take mine. Had to reassure the homie he wasn't alone. We talking him and Nate conversate on the phone. He kept saying it won't be long before a skinny little like me will be home. I said, Snoop, things done changed. It's not the same. We need to get up out the game, cause we can get paid in a different way while you kicking dope rhymes and I DJ. Well, as the time goes past slowly, we fucked it all up. But you know what? That shit's good. I think we're good. Anyway. You make me want to holla. Get out the game. I think it was fucking me up looking at the lyrics, making sure I didn't miss anything. It fucked it all up. Taki says it's sad that Snoop had Tupac killed. You think Snoop did that? Brother. Send me the conspiracy video, please. I want to see it. Living in the shine. Na 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 na. Ooh. Oh damn, that's such a good fucking album. Fucking Warren G-Funk is on the fucking playlist for tomorrow. Then why do all the Brits sing the blues? It's a little bit different. Suge did it. You make me want to holla, get out the game. Too many motherfuckers know my name. Oh, that shit's so good. I talk so much shit, I got halitosis. That's a great album. All right, that's show and tell. That's the singing, that's the dancing, that's the shots. One more shot. One more shot for you. PCP Army and this crew. Y'all are the best, y'all know. Everybody here, I love you. If this was a Thanksgiving dinner, I'd bring you to the table. I love everybody except for Fable. Everybody knows that I am able to bury that motherfucker in the ground. All right, love y'all. You can't see me. The year of PCPX. Suck it. We're dipping out. We love you. And we're going to end on my boy Davey telling you, just fucking do it. Like Nike, this motherfucker's coming like lightning. Just do it.
Can we stop doing this? Y'all know what you want to say. Just say it. He can take it. Be real. None of this great video. He knows. He's an asshole. Let's do it.
All right, taking a shot. You make me want to holla. Get out the game. Too many people like Fable know my name. But you know what? You got to pay the cost to be the boss.
Never again comments. No mouse guard? Oh, we're sorry. We forgot to do the shitty book section this week. Check back next week, buddy. Pikeman2000 says, where'd you get your comics from? Need that Frankenstein book plate. Where you been, man? Manager of the Deep. Comics Games. Been here 10 years. The YouTube is more recent than the manager position. Where you been? Can we stop doing this? Y'all know what you want to say. Just say it. He can take it. Be real. None of this. Great video! He knows. He's an asshole. Let's do it.